Racist Karen calls 911 on black neighbor, instantly regrets it when dispatcher speaks up. Imagine this. A woman calls 911 in a panic, demanding the police rush to her neighborhood because, quote, a suspicious black man won't let me in. But here's the twist. The dispatcher on the other end of the line? She's his wife. What happens next will leave you speechless. Before we jump in, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon because you won't want to miss stories where justice serves itself cold. Now, let's get into it. It was a warm Saturday morning in the peaceful suburbs of Maplewood Heights. Birds chirped, sprinklers whispered across manicured lawns, and moving trucks lined the street in front of House 47, a newly purchased home. That's where Marcus Turner, a calm, polite, and hard-working African-American man, was unloading boxes with his teenage son, Jaden. Marcus, a retired firefighter, had just moved his family from the city to give them a quieter life, especially for his wife, Naomi, who worked long hours as a 911 dispatcher at the county office. But within just a few hours of arriving, Marcus realized Maplewood Heights wasn't as welcoming as the real estate brochure promised. Across the street stood Karen Whitmore, the self-proclaimed neighborhood coordinator, or as everyone else secretly called her, the HOA queen. She was in her late 40s, blonde hair tied tight, always clutching a clipboard like it was part of her soul. The moment she spotted Marcus, she narrowed her eyes. Without introducing herself, she marched across the street. "Excuse me, can I help you? Are you the new moving crew?" Marcus wiped the sweat from his forehead and smiled politely. "No, ma'am. I actually live here now. Just moved in this morning." Karen's expression froze. "Oh," she stammered. "I see. Well, we have a homeowners association here. You can't just move in without approval. Did you even get clearance?" Marcus chuckled softly. "I bought the house through the realtor. The papers are all signed. Everything's good." But Karen wasn't satisfied. She took a photo of his truck, muttered something about keeping the neighborhood safe, and stormed off. Marcus sighed. He'd dealt with people like her before. He just hoped it wouldn't get worse. By afternoon, Naomi called Marcus during her lunch break. "Hey, babe, how's the move going?" she asked cheerfully. Marcus smiled. "Mostly good. Jaden's setting up his room, but the HOA lady already stopped by. She wasn't exactly friendly." Naomi sighed. "Typical. Just ignore her, okay?" "I'm trying to, but something tells me she's not done yet." And he was right. Around 4 p.m., Marcus was organizing his tools in the garage when he heard a loud knock. When he opened the door, Karen was standing there again, this time with a clipboard and a forced smile. "Mr. Turner, as a community representative, I need to inspect your property to make sure it meets HOA standards." Marcus frowned. "Ma'am, with all due respect, I just moved in. I'm still unpacking. And you don't have permission to enter my home." Karen's smile vanished. "I have every right." "No, you don't," Marcus interrupted, firmly but calmly. "Please leave my property." Karen gasped, like he'd just committed a crime. "Excuse me? You can't talk to me like that. I'm calling the police." Marcus folded his arms. "You go ahead and do that." Karen stormed off, muttering, "We'll see who's right here." Marcus just shook his head, unaware that this next phone call would turn into one of the most unforgettable 911 moments in the town's history. Karen marched back to her house and slammed the door. She picked up her phone and dialed 911, her voice dripping with fake fear. "911, what's your emergency?" "Yes, this is Karen Whitmore from Maplewood Heights. There's a suspicious black man refusing to let me into my neighborhood. I think he might be dangerous." The dispatcher's tone stayed professional. "Ma'am, can you describe the man?" Karen huffed. "He's tall, muscular, maybe in his 40s, wearing a gray shirt and jeans. He's very aggressive." The dispatcher paused. Something about that description and the address sounded familiar. Ma'am, can you confirm the address, please? Yes, 47 Pinecrest Drive. The dispatcher's eyes widened. That was her address, her home. She took a deep breath, maintaining her professional tone. Ma'am, are you sure the individual isn't the homeowner? Of course he isn't. People like that don't live here. At that moment, Naomi clenched her jaw. She recognized exactly who this caller was, her husband's new neighbor, and she was lying. Still, Naomi remained calm. Ma'am, officers will be dispatched shortly. Please wait outside your home. Karen hung up, feeling victorious. But what she didn't know was that Naomi had already sent a quick internal message to Officer Daniels, a family friend who also lived in the area. She typed, "Headed to Pinecrest. Be careful. The caller is overreacting. That's my husband she's talking about." Within minutes, a patrol car pulled up. Karen greeted the officers with her arms crossed. She said, "He's right over there," pointing dramatically toward Marcus's driveway. "That man was aggressive toward me and refused entry." Officer Daniels, recognizing Marcus instantly, chuckled. "Ma'am, that's not a trespasser. That's the new homeowner, Marcus Turner, and you have no right to enter his property." Karen's mouth dropped open. "Wait, what?" Daniels continued. "And by the way, your 911 dispatcher, the one you spoke to just now, that's his wife." Karen's face turned white as paper. Marcus stepped out of his garage, confused at first, until he saw Officer Daniels smiling. "Hey, Marcus," the officer greeted. "Just checking in. Your neighbor here called for a so-called suspicious person. Guess that's you." Marcus raised an eyebrow. "Figures." Karen stammered. I didn't know. I was just trying to protect the neighborhood." Marcus looked her straight in the eye. "By assuming I didn't belong here because of my skin color?" Karen's lips trembled. I didn't mean it like that." Officer Daniels crossed his arms. "Ma'am, false reporting to 911 is a serious offense. You wasted police resources over your own prejudice." Karen's shoulders slumped. "I'm sorry." Marcus sighed and shook his head. "I don't need an apology. Just some respect. We're neighbors now. Let's act like it." A few hours later, Marcus got a call from Naomi. "You okay, babe?" she asked softly. He chuckled. "I'm fine, though I think your voice scared her more than the police did." Naomi laughed. "Good. Maybe she'll think twice next time before calling 911 for nonsense." Over the next few weeks, something surprising happened. Karen stopped policing the block and actually started minding her own business. One morning, she even brought over a pie, awkwardly, and said, "Welcome to the neighborhood." Marcus accepted it with a polite smile. "Thanks. Fresh start?" She nodded quietly. From then on, Marcus, Naomi, and Jaden became a respected part of the community, not because they fought back with anger, but because they handled ignorance with calm, dignity, and truth. And as for Naomi, every time she clocked in at the 911 center, she remembered that day, the day her professionalism and patience taught someone what true neighborliness really means. And that's the story of how one woman's prejudice completely backfired, all because karma picked up the phone. If you believe everyone deserves respect, no matter their color or background, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a "respect for all" in the comments below.